there, beer tubers. Welcome back to Maxwell Starr's beer review. Tonight, I'm going to take a look at a beer that was brought back to me from the great city of Toronto by none other than the Fuzz. Going to take a look at Denison's Weissbier, Bavarian-style white wheat beer. So, I haven't looked any information up about this particular beer, but apparently this is one of the better Canadian versions of a German Hefeweizen style. I kind of wish I did take a look at a bit more information beforehand, but you know what? I'm going to fly solo with this one. What I do understand about this beer is that it's 5.3% ABV. Is a German Hefeweizen style beer. So I've had plenty of Hefeweizens on this channel. I know exactly what to expect from that typical class of beer. I'm just looking forward to seeing what it tastes like from a Canadian microbrew. And apparently this particular beer is only available in the Toronto region. Like, I don't think it's even in the LCBOs. Probably a few people out there that can correct me for that. It says, Toronto's wheat beer since 1990. Made from carbon-filtered water, malted wheat, malted barley, hops, and specially selected yeast. Absolutely no preservatives or other adjuncts. Not filtered or pasteurized. Freshness, highest quality ingredients, and commitment to beers brewed have both character and high drinkability. These are things that matter to me. Michael Hancock, founding brewmaster. Cool. So, fresh, authentic, and far from ordinary. So yeah, got all the Bavarian style beers. So let me take a look at this one here and see if it's any good. Well, I'm certainly getting some head. Now I can't do this thing again anymore with this particular can because it just won't come out right. So I'm expecting a very, very foamy, fizzy beer. Pour it gently here. And I don't think I'm going to get all that in there before it fills up to the top. Looking at it, it's definitely not filtered. I mean, it's filtered somewhat, but it's still got this nice hazy appearance, which is really nice and classic to the style. Got a lot of head and seems to be dying off quite quickly. Let me see if it'll do. Yep. Well, that's just nice there. Now, it doesn't really look like it's got the same kind of head retention as what I would expect from a typical Hefeweizen. Whereas, you know, you'd be sitting with this huge frop on top for, you know, minutes or more, you know. This one here looks like the head retention isn't quite there, but it still looks nice with this nice, gratuitous, pillowy head, a bright white, like linen bleach sheets kind of look to it, on top of this nice golden appearance beer. And it's even holding it up to the light here. A lot more sediment came in and out at the top and at the very bottom of the can, which makes it gives it the typical Hefeweizen swirl of yeast and sediment inside of it, which is really, really something that fits me to the style. So for the appearances, the only thing I have a slight against so far is that the head retention isn't quite there, but that's really splitting hairs at this point, because what's it matter when the beer tastes great? So let's give it a sniff. It's got a grainy, dusty smell. Bit of an earthy, almost like a dirty feet smell almost. Like a, I can hear you in the background. Oh, really? It's not that bad. It's just this dirty, almost a dirty kind of like a musty kind of smell to it, which could be coming from the grains of the wheat sediment, the wheat and the yeast. But the smells that I would normally associate with a Hefeweizen aren't there, and they would be the smell of like slight hints of banana, clove, nice yeast, like a nice grainy smell. Well, the grainy smell's there, but and look, the head's gone. So. Not sure what to say about that so far. Well, it looks nice. The head leaves a little bit to be desired, and so does the smell. Now that it's died off, I'm getting a little bit more of like a, almost of like a banana or a clove kind of smell, but it's very, very, very faint. Let's give it a taste. And my can went bad. Alright, so I've decided I'm going to try and finish this review, even though I'm noting now that it tastes like it may have changed in the flavor sense. But when I took a drink of it, it's nice and light. It has some nice flavors. However, I just find it's got a very strong, almost citrusy sour taste in the center of the body. Almost like, it's not like it's vinegar, but almost like it's heading in that direction. However, what I am getting is this nice light taste, and in the background, you almost get this little bit of like a light clove, a light banana, just a very faint kind of taste, as well as a little bit of like a grainy texture to it, typical of what it being a wheat beer and all. It's just that normally a little bit of a citrus sourness is present in a Weissbier. It just seems like this one here has a lot of it, and I don't mean that in a way where it's unpalatable or I'm not going to be able to finish this beer, because it seems like it's not bad. It just seems like there's a little too much of that citrus sourness in the back. And maybe that's a slight against the beer, whether or not I think it's a bad beer or not. In the sense that if that is supposed to be like that, that's a little much. Very citrus sour, and I almost think that the authentic German Hefeweizens would stand up to this one. Even Propeller's Hefeweizen, which would be nice, lighter, and a light, fluffy beer. I expect something like this to be a nice, frothy beer. With some light banana and light clove tastes, whereas this one here has got a nice, it's a nice tasting beer. It's just got this thick orange citrus bitterness and sourness that's omnipresent throughout the body of the beer, and it's a little much. Now, oh yeah, and there's a little bit of like an herbal bitterness in the very back as well. There's a little bit of like an herbal hop flavor present as well. Now, I kind of do foresee myself being able to finish this beer, and being only available in Toronto and coming all that way. Thank you, Fuzz, and also being featured in one of my other reviews. I think the Bose Mr. Hyde, I showed Fuzz giving me this can of beer. It just comes across as being bad. And if it is not supposed to be that citrus sour, then it's nice and light. But it's not something I would call world class either. If it is supposed to taste like this, then that's one heck of a bitterness that really is not supposed to be there, in my own personal opinion. But that's, excuse me, that's just me. It's also not very well carbonated for a particular beer of this class. Now, it's still got carbonation, but not quite as much there as I would like. Yeah, I'd hate to knock it, because I imagine people do appreciate this beer. It's rated currently as one of the a third best beer from Ontario or something on Rate Beer. But it doesn't quite fit the style, and it's not quite what I expected when it comes to a beer. It leaves, for me personally, some things to be desired. And if it's not supposed to taste like that, then I would sure love to get my hands on a fresher can at some point. And if it is supposed to taste like that, then I think for a rating I'd have to give it like a 2.5 out of 5. While it's definitely drinkable and definitely half decent, it's not what I would consider world class or the best. I would consider it barely a pass. I hate to do that to what's such a well-renowned beer, and I'd appreciate people's feedback. Maybe I did get a bad can of this, and maybe even further, maybe somebody would like to donate one of these to my channel. Looks a bit fresher. I mean, this one did survive in the back of some of these cars the whole trip back down, so it wasn't exactly flown here and in a fridge. So I'd like to hear more, and I'm probably gonna post this review anyway. But thanks everyone for watching. I hope I didn't tick too many people off, and I'm sure this is a good beer. This is just, if that's how it's supposed to taste, this isn't really meshing with me right well, and I love my Hefeweizens, which probably constitutes why I'm so picky. Anyway, thanks guys for watching this, and I will talk to you guys later.